The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Biliana Yakula. We're going to do a quick technical check before we start our webinar, which is going to be in 2 minutes, just at the top of the hour. If you can hear me right now, I would greatly appreciate it if you could raise the hand by using the raise hand button to let me know that you can hear me. Wonderful. I'm starting to see a couple of hands go up. Perfect. I am going to go ahead and lower everybody's hand right now and type a quick message in our chat window just in case anybody didn't actually hear us speak right now, so they will know that they're having some technical sound difficulties. We're going to get started in just another minute. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar on preparing for the world's largest pet walk. This webinar is being recorded and will be available in the resource library following our session. Please hold any questions to the end of the webinar or type them in as we go along, but those will not be answered until our presentation is over. It is my pleasure to be with you here today. My name is Biliana Yakula, and I am one of the program managers for the Therapy Animal Program at Pet Partners. I will be one of your co-hosts for the day. It is also my pleasure to introduce you to Tracy Pryor, our Chief Development Officer, who will be your co-host. Tracy, take it away.
Hey, Biliana, thank you so much, and thank you to those of you that were able to join us today as we talk a little bit about the world's largest pet walk. For this overview today, we'll just talk a little bit about the event, highlight some of the tools and resources that are available to you for this event, and Biliana can walk you through some ideas on actually executing the walk, selecting location, maybe deciding on who you're going to walk with and how to prepare for the event. So we hope you will walk with us and invite others to do this as well. So the world's largest pet walk is a first annual event for us. We are really excited to have this. We're aiming to have folks walk all across the country with their pet on September 29th, which is a Saturday coming up at the end of the month. And this was really, we decided to host this event in celebration of our Walk With Me program and to really encourage anyone to participate who wants to enjoy the health benefits of being active with their pets. So this is for you to choose how you want to participate. Choose what's right for you. You can select any time or location on the 29th, whether you lead a Walk With Me event in your community, you just go with some friends and family, maybe around the neighborhood, or you could just you and your animal take a quiet hike through nature. Whatever works. We just really want to see folks taking steps with their pets to be active. And it's really important to mention this isn't only for registered pet partners teams. This is really for anyone who wants to participate. And it's really simple. We just want to promote the fact that walking and staying active with your pets is one of the best things you can do for your health. So we would really like to have your help in spreading the word and raising awareness about the health benefits of walking with your pets. So we will have different resources that you can use for social media, things that you can do if you have a blog, just templates if you want to reach out to your local media or news station. There's also a fundraising component, which I'll share with you as well, which is the invitation to participate by purchasing a Pet Partners shirt for this event. We're doing a commemorative World's Largest Pet Walk shirt for our inaugural event. So the first thing you want to do if you're going to participate in the world's largest pet walk with us is let us know. So we have a little, when you go to petpartners.org, you can click on World's Largest Pet Walk. There's a place where you can let us know that you'll be participating. You can type in which animal, which pets you're participating with, what your plans are as far as how far you're going to walk. And it's a nice way for us to be able to go back and say, hey, look, we had walkers in all 50 states. We even had some folks outside of the country. And we'll be able to share and announce back and celebrate how many people actually took part in the World's Largest Pet Walk. So we do ask that it's really simple. It's not a cumbersome registration process. It's just a quick pledge to let us know that you'll be participating. Another thing that you can do is you can wear your World's Largest Pet Walk shirt. Now, this says that they were only available through September 1st, but we did go ahead. We had folks still purchasing, and we did go ahead and extend it for a few days. So currently, if you go to the website and you haven't purchased a shirt, or if you know somebody that said, oh, shucks, I missed the deadline, it's open for a few more days. We're not really promoting that it is, but it is. It's active on there through September 8th. So all proceeds from the purchase of these shirts benefit Pet Partners and our mission of improving health and well-being through the human-animal bond. So thank you for those of you who've already purchased your shirts or spread the word. It's a great thing. We want everyone wearing them with pride on our World's Largest Pet Walk Day. So September 8th is the deadline on that. Also, we have a ton of fun social media images. If you're not following Pet Partners on Facebook and Instagram, if you are active on those social media platforms, I recommend please come follow us. We're doing a lot of posts about it, and we are going to ask folks to engage on social media with us. The two hashtags we're asking folks to use are hashtag Pet Partners and hashtag World's Largest Pet Walk. When you go to our World's Largest Pet Walk page on our website, you'll see there's different images you can share. We have different types of therapy animals. We have some dogs, we have cats, many horses, different images, different slogans you can use. We even have some sample blog post content if you are someone who does blogging or does other electronic communications that you'd like to share the word, spread the word. We also have a press release template. We found when we did National Therapy Animal Day and we provided folks with a template that they could reach out on behalf of their local group or community partner that they were celebrating National Therapy Animal Day. If we provided that template for folks to use to help do a letter to the editor, contact their local media, it just makes it a lot easier. And we found so many people that were able to generate extra attention about the good work that they're doing in their local communities. So make sure to check all of those different resources out. I do want to mention, too, if you're planning a group walk and you might be active maybe with workplace well-being visits or something where you're visiting where it needs to take place during the work week and a Saturday event doesn't work well, it's okay. You can really celebrate this maybe the week prior to the event. You could do something leading up to it. So don't feel like most people are going to choose to participate on September 29th, but there's some flexibility there, especially if it needs to take place during Monday through Friday time. Just know you have that flexibility to do that. So make sure you check out petpartners.org, click on World's Largest Pet Walk, and check out all of the different resources that are available to you. I do know, sneak peek, coming up, I think it's September 19th, we're going to have a special Facebook profile photo frame that you can use, a little overlay over your Facebook photo to let folks know that you'll be walking during the World's Largest Pet Walk. So take advantage of that as well. We want to see a lot of folks. It's just a great way to spread the word around the health benefits of walking with your animals. We really wanted to respond to the Surgeon General's call to action for folks taking steps and being active and making sure that they're walking their ways to better health. And we cannot think of a better way to do this than get out and walk with our pets. So those are some of the promotional resources and a little bit about the event. I'm going to turn it over to Biljana, and she'll be able to walk you through, pardon the pun, some of the ways you'll want to participate and look to planning an event that day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tracy. So we're going to dive into logistics. The walk is on September 29th. We hope that you have already marked your calendar. And now we're going to talk about where to walk, how exactly to time your walk, and with whom to walk. We'll talk about each of those items separately. The walk is on the 29th of September, which means you would want to pick a location which in your geographic area is accessible and not overly distracting on a typical Saturday. Think of the usual activity around your local park, for example. Is it typically busy on weekdays but quiet on the weekend as families do activities at home? Or is it the complete opposite and an otherwise quiet park is overfilled with toddlers on weekends? For the purposes of the world's largest pet walk, we would recommend you pick a location which is low to moderate in terms of activity level. If your location is too busy, there may be a bit too many distractions. Speaking of distractions, being out on a walk will present a potential range of tempting sights or smells for your animal. When you're selecting the time and exact location of your walk, it would be best if you aim for fewer distractions if those can be avoided. For example, if you're walking in a large park, choose the trails which don't pass by the picnic area where families might be out with food. If you're planning to walk later in the day in your neighborhood or along a nearby trail, maybe you can take Bella for a short walk down that path in the morning so that in the afternoon the smells and sights are not brand new and she is not too tempted to explore. The world's largest pet walk is meant to engage as many people as possible in the walking activity, so choose terrain which is not challenging for those with whom you're walking. Make it fun, easy, and accessible. Hiking and long walks can wait for another day. You're more than welcome to do an indoor walk, perhaps along an indoor track at the local Y or in a mall. Just be certain to have confirmed ahead of time with the facility that they're supportive of such an event and there are no other activities scheduled for the same time on the 29th. Since the world's largest pet walk is on a specific date, the only timing considerations to keep in mind have to do with when on the 29th the walk should be and how long it should last. Of course, as always, a Pet Partners event with your registered teammate should not exceed 2 hours. We suspect the vast majority of those participating will not be walking for quite as long, and that is perfectly fine. Your walk could be as short as you wish. Even 15 minutes of activity for a person who otherwise might not have made it out of the house that day is a win. When choosing when on the 29th to have that walk, such as morning or afternoon, think about the activity level of your location and who your walkers are. Maybe you have been volunteering at a local retirement facility where you plan to do your walk, and pretty much all the residents there are early risers. An early morning walk might be just right. Or maybe there tend to be morning showers in your location at that time of year, so you can plan your walk for the afternoon when the ground will be drier. Ideally, of course, you won't be walking so late in the day that it's dark outside. Next, it's time to select who you will be walking with. You might already have a group in mind, such as the residents at a local facility where you already volunteer. In such cases, you would want to chat with a facility coordinator, introduce them to the idea of the world's largest pet walk, and arrange for a time when a walk would work for them. The location of the walk in this case is predetermined, close to the facility or even on facility grounds. Be creative when deciding which facilities to approach about a potential walk. Maybe you have never done a walk with the children who come to your Saturday reading session at the local library. But if you plan that out and have supervision by staff and parents, you could do a one-time special event where you walk to a nearby park with a few children and staff where you sit down and do some reading. This can be a very fun way to incorporate two very engaging activities. Maybe you visit at a local college for periodic de-stress events. You can advertise your walk through a flyer at their dorms. This could be such a fun activity for the students who live on campus that they could enjoy on a day that they don't have to be in class. Have you considered stopping by a local fire station, for example? First responders have tremendously stressful jobs and are at the same time required to be healthy and fit for their jobs. Maybe you could organize a short but fun walk with the firefighters that they can share with you and your animal on that day. We would encourage you to be creative and consider inviting staff to a walk as well. Perhaps residents at the hospice facility where you volunteer are too sick to leave their rooms, but maybe on this one Saturday afternoon, a portion of the staff, who clearly have very emotionally charged jobs, could enjoy a walk around the building with you and your animal. If you belong to a community partner group, you have the option to coordinate the day's activities with other group members. There are a couple different ways you could approach this. Some community partners are choosing to divide and conquer, so to speak. Individual teams are connecting with individual facilities so that as many separate walks at as many separate locations as possible are happening on that day. How fun would it be to have 12 concurrent walks in the greater Dallas area, for example? Another option is to coordinate a group walk where multiple teams are getting together at the same facility and inviting residents to join them as a group. The presence of multiple therapy animals might certainly attract great attention and assure that your walk is well attended. If you're choosing the group route, please consider viewing the Group Visits FAQ document in our resource library for tips on successfully coordinating a visit which includes multiple animals. When deciding on participants, you could approach a local business which is open on Saturdays and might be interested in supporting your walk. How fun would it be to connect with the gym where you work out and offer a walk with your pet for those of the patrons who plan to be working out on that Saturday? It doesn't even have to be a particularly brisk or challenging walk. It is more about supporting physical activity and raising awareness for the role that animals can play in making walking more frequent. Of course, the world's largest pet walk truly is about fun more than anything else. This is the perfect event to enjoy with friends, family, or neighbors. The more, the merrier. If you're not able to or not interested in coordinating a walk with others, you can absolutely walk by yourself with just your pet as your companion. Solo walks are a wonderful way to have some more bonding time with your pet while also being jointly physically active. We would love a selfie of you and Bella, and be sure to capture a shot and share it with us on social media. Who your walking buddies will be will largely determine how you promote your walk. If you're planning to walk with residents at a facility where you volunteer, follow the standard process for announcing events. Maybe the facility posts a flyer or prints it on the weekly schedule for their residents, or announces it at lunchtime when residents are gathered in the cafeteria. If you're exploring a walk at a new location, maybe you can print a flyer and post it at your library, for example, announcing the event. If creating flyers, be sure to specify the duration or distance you plan to cover. For example, we plan to do a leisurely half-hour walk, or we will do 3 laps on the main park trail. Be sure to include a photo of your animal, as those definitely attract attention. You're also welcome to use images from our website of different species of animals walking. Simply go on the world's largest pet walk page. If the walk you're planning is more informal, you can make a much more informal announcement. For example, if you're walking with neighbors, you can simply post about it on the Facebook page of your neighborhood if you have one. If it is friends and family you're walking with, word of mouth can work just as well. If the walk you're planning will be a larger, more formal event in your community, as Tracy mentioned, we definitely encourage you to alert local media. There is no better way to spread the word about this wonderful event and the tremendous benefit of being physically active with your pets. So check out the world's largest pet walk page on our website for some tips on having your event featured by media. Before starting the walk, be clear for yourself and potentially state specifically for your fellow walkers how much interaction with your animal you expect will happen. Some walks might involve a handler, an animal who are healthy, and a group of employees from a local business who are relatively healthy themselves. So the walk might be brisk and your animal will be along as just one of the walkers. On the other hand, you may have a walk with your less athletic animal or a set of less healthy clients, which might be leisurely and pause at the local park where clients may be able to interact with your animal while sitting around the benches and chatting. Be prepared to spell this out for the walkers so that you and your animal are not caught off guard with people blocking your path in an attempt to pet your animal while you're walking. Of course, the world's largest pet walk is meant to be fun, so as long as you and your animal are comfortable with it, we would definitely encourage interaction along the way, as well as before and after the walk. Whatever engages the walkers and is enjoyable for everyone is what the day should be about. While on a walk with multiple participants, you may come across the need to do some traffic control. Depending on the age and ability of your walkers, they may end up walking too close to or randomly crossing your or your animal's path. Be sure to select locations where there will be plenty of room for the number of participants that you anticipate, or, alternatively, cap the number of walk participants who can join you that day. Depending on where you're walking, you may also come across other walkers, joggers, bicyclists, children playing, etc., who are not part of your group. Always be aware of your surroundings and think of your animal's welfare first. Be prepared to step in front of your animal to protect them, divert them quickly from the path of a distracted teenager who is texting, or do any other traffic control activities necessary. If you plan for a portion of the walk to attach a second leash to your animal and give that to one of the walkers, be sure to pack an extra leash. And if it is appropriate, even make this option known to participants ahead of time. The potential of co-walking your animal will be highly motivating. Please remember that it is against pet partners' policy to hand off the leash of your animal to anyone during the course of a visit. But of course, if you're walking with your pet who is not registered, you are more than welcome to determine who holds the leash when. Being outdoors puts your animal in a very different, potentially more distracting environment than the average indoor lobby. So while you're on the walk, just be aware that your animal might see squirrels, dogs being walked, an occasional outdoor cat. Just be prepared. If you're planning for the walk to include multiple animals, please ideally have them meet prior to the day of the walk, but if not possible, at least before the walkers arrive. You might also consider having all of you do the walk together first before you ask along walkers, just to see how the dogs or other species that you're walking with all get along with each other as you go. As the walk happens, please spread yourselves out, giving all walkers the opportunity to walk next to the animal, if possibly. You may also want to be mindful that everyone wishing to walk next to your pet gets an opportunity to do so that you may change your position within the larger group that you're walking with. If you're going to be walking with multiple species, please consider that this is ideally done among animals that already know each other. While on a walk might be a challenging situation for your dog for the first time ever to meet a miniature horse. You simply don't know exactly how that will go. So multi-species walks have to be planned out more thoughtfully. All right, it is the day before the world's largest pet walk. You're excited, you're ready. Now is a good time to make sure that you're ready for tomorrow's event. Start off by preparing the equipment that you plan to use, the leash and collar or harness that you plan to have on your walk. If you're bringing along a second leash so a client can co-walk your animal, be sure that that is ready as well. If you purchased a special edition t-shirt, there is no better time to wear it than on the day of the walk. Of course, if you have different Pet Partners logo clothing that you wish to wear, that'll be wonderful as well. If you're going to walk with clients as opposed to friends and family, please have photo release forms ready. We most definitely would love it if you could post photos of your walk on social media, but be certain if clients are involved that you only take and share pictures with a signed release in place. Lastly, charge up your cell phone so you can take great shots of tomorrow's event. While it is optional, it may be very fun to print out a world's largest pet walk bib to attach to your t-shirt. You can find a template for this on the page for the walk. Simply follow the link that you are seeing on your screen. All right, the big day is here, September 29th, World's Largest Pet Walk Day. Hopefully, you got a good night's sleep and are ready for a fun day promoting healthy physical activity. Have fun on your walk. Be sure to clarify with your walkers whether the animal who is joining you is a registered Pet Partners animal or your pet. Remember, you can walk as long as you wish. Even 15 minutes count and add up. Take plenty of photos. Use photo releases with clients. We will be eagerly tracking social media, so make sure that you post your pictures with the hashtags of World's Largest Pet Walk and Pet Partners so we can find them. And thank you so much for supporting our mission and joining us for this very, very fun event. With this, we have covered the content that we had for you guys today, and we would love to open the floor for any comments or questions that we may be able to answer. Simply use the question box to enter those. And as the questions are coming in and the audience is having an opportunity to type, Tracy, was there anything else that kind of came to mind as I was going through that you wanted to add?
Thank you, Biljana. I think you all did a great job sharing what we have as far as World's Largest Pet Walk. I can't think of anything additional. Hopefully, if there's any questions, if you think of a question after you hang up today, no problem. You can email me at tracyp@petpartners.org, and I'm happy to connect with you individually to answer any questions that may come up after this webinar.
Fantastic.
But I just want to thank you in advance. Yeah, thank you in advance for your support and your interest in this. We're really excited to see folks taking steps to better health with their pets.
That's wonderful. Thank you for offering that direct contact, Tracy. Absolutely. So we have a couple of questions that have come through. First one is probably going to be Tracy's to answer. How can we connect with my company? I am wanting to involve our company.
Oh, that's a wonderful question. This is a great activity for the workplace. A lot of times I've seen different companies have different ways that they plan events. Sometimes there's a wellness committee or an employee engagement group. Maybe it's through HR. So first you'd want to identify the proper person to talk with. A lot of times an obstacle for pets in the workplace is whether the facility or the building, the venue, the tenant is allowed to have pets both inside the building or even on the ground. So you'd want to make sure that that's permitted, and if so, identify which species of animals they allow, or the size or the number of animals. If it's something that you find out that your employer is open to having you lead a walk, I often recommend for workplace activities, maybe look at for your particular working environment, when do folks most have a little break in their schedule? A lot of times that might be mid-morning leading up to the lunch hour time. If you're not in a location where there's temperature extremes either way, if it's going to be nice at the end of September, you could do a lunchtime walk. A lot of buildings have these lovely campuses with really safe trails or sidewalks that could work to do this. So it really lends itself well to the workplace. So you first want to, I guess, just find out who to connect with to get the proper permission from the building, from the facilities manager. If there are questions about our insurance or specifically about our program requirements, if it's going to be led as by Pet Partners handlers, we're happy to help provide the answers to those facilities, to those workplace partners. But I think it's just like any of our other, just kind of gauge interest. Make sure that you have the permission to do so, and then really utilize whatever strategies to spread the word would work for that workplace. A lot of times companies may have an intranet or an internal way that they can spread the word about some fun employee engagement activity such as this, or maybe it's just printing out a flyer with your pet and yourself, a photo, sharing a little bit about it, printing out some of the bibs in advance that people can write down their names and where they're walking from, and just take advantage of some of the resources that we have available on our website.
Perfect. Thank you, Tracy. We have a couple more questions that have come along. Where do we find the photo releases? Photo releases can be found in the resource library of our volunteer center. So log into the volunteer center, click on the resource library from the menu on the right-hand side, and type in photo. You'll be able to come up with the photo release and print out as many of those as you need. We also have a question of, can any dogs be off leash? We'll be walking in the National Forest. So if it is a Pet Partners event and you're promoting it as such and you're walking with a registered therapy animal, then Pet Partners policies and procedures would have to be followed, and that includes having that animal on a leash. If you are walking with a pet that is not registered with us, just who happens to be the good walker in the family, so to speak, since this is an event that is open to all pets, then most definitely you get to choose exactly how you walk them, since that's your pet and that's not subject to our policies at that point. But wow, National Forest Walk, that sounds fantastic. I'm already loving the sound of that. I want to be part of that. If any other questions come up, you're also more than welcome to email us at operations@petpartners.org, the usual address that I suspect many of you are using to communicate with our therapy animal staff, and we'll be more than happy to answer those as well. We have a couple more minutes. If any additional questions come up at this time, we'll be happy to answer them. This is going to be an annual event, and we're really excited. So there will be potentially a lot of learning that we can also do as an organization, as we typically do after we run our first time ever type of an event. As we hear back about how each of the events went, that allows us to grow those for next year, and to make enhancements to how we plan things, or what are additional potentially promotional or other materials that might have been helpful. So we love to hear back about how your event has gone. That definitely helps us continue to make improvements. All right, we're down to our last minute. Unless any questions or comments come up at this time, we definitely appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for joining us for this webinar, and we hope that you have a wonderful time on your walk. We look forward to seeing all of the photos that you share and all of the experiences that you share with us. This webinar will be made available in the resource library within a couple of days, as soon as we're able to post that and add that to our resources. And I suspect a link to it will be available also on the page for the world's largest pet walk, as we want to have materials and supporting resources available in the same space. So thank you everyone for attending. We greatly appreciate your time today. Have a wonderful rest of your day and a very, very fun walk.